underdogs, it's Stacy again. So this is a fitness video I wanted to show you using TheraBands. So I teach yoga, Pilates, and barre at the YMCA nearby, and I train clients out of my home with Pilates Reformer. And I buy a lot of my own fitness equipment. So I got these bands. Actually, I bought a big 25-foot roll off of Amazon because I like to bring my own equipment into where I work. Sometimes the equipment is a little bit old, and over time TheraBands can get kind of dried out and cracked, and they also start to get tears in the sides of them, and we've had them snap on people. Nobody's gotten injured, don't worry. But I like to have my own. I just recently purchased these so that I bring them into my classes so I know that they're good, they're new, they're safe, they're awesome. So what we do is we attach them. So I cut them all down, as you can see, I don't know, 6 feet, not even 6 feet, 4 feet, 3.5. Figure it out, it's not that. I measured them to the size of my table. Longer than a yard, I'm saying about 4 feet it looks like. Anyway, I can eyeball it, so. But anyway, there's my band. And you can get these at Dick's Sporting Goods. You don't have to get a whole big 25-foot roll, because what would you do with that? And you can fold them in half, and there you go. And they give a nice stretch. They have them in different tensions. You want one that's not too light, but you don't want it so heavy that you can barely move it, okay? So I'm going to show you a routine that you can do at home if you have a TheraBand or if you go out to Dick's and buy one, okay? We'll set that one to the side. And you can use a doorknob in case you don't have a ballet bar, because most houses aren't equipped with a ballet bar, but a doorknob works perfectly well. What you're going to do is you don't want to just set it on the doorknob and call it a day, because if you lean back, it's going to come right off. So you are going to knot it. So you're just going to hang it on your doorknob, and then you're just going to make a little, it doesn't even have to be a knot, like a double knot. You're just going to attach it and then pull that nice and tight, okay? Then you're going to separate your band, 2 different pieces, okay? When you're on your mat or carpet, make sure you've got something to support your spine. So if you've got a hardwood floor, obviously a mat is the way to go. This is a general yoga mat. For some of us, we need a little bit more cushion for our spine. So this is a Pilates-based routine. So you might want to go with a thicker, more cushier mat. A lot of times for Pilates, we have something that's a little bit thicker for our spine. But since I've got some carpet, this should be plenty. You separate your band into 2, 1 for each arm. And you can either wrap it around for extra, or you can just hold it pretty high, okay? But you don't want to hold too low, because you're going to get down and not be able to get back up. This is an ab routine, so you do want your abdominals to work, but you want there to be a little bit of tension. You don't want it to be so heavy that you're not able to go anywhere, but you also don't want it to be so light that you lay down and are stuck if your abs are on the weaker side. Your feet don't touch the wall, so make sure you've got a few inches. I look like I've got about 4 inches, 4.5 inches. My toes from the edge of the wall. And then just make sure you've got room behind you, okay? So we're gonna hold on to the band. Now the other thing that I've noticed with my students is you put something in their hands and they just really wanna work their arms, okay? So there's no bending of the elbow here. It's a soft elbow, but you're not pulling when you go back, okay? Let your upper back really kind of rest and stretch out through this exercise, okay? So here we go. Make sure it's nice and tight. And we just roll back. Knees are together, feet are together. I'm scooping out my abs, so I'm gonna let go for a second. If you see, I look like I got my C curve going on. I got the letter C. I roll about halfway back. We don't lay down. And then we start to come up with that C curve again. So my chest goes towards my thighs, but doesn't touch. And then I roll back down and up. So adding the breath, it's inhale back and exhale as I come up. And it's inhale back, nice scooped out abdominal, and exhale, coming up. So we'll do this in real time. I hate when people describe something on YouTube and they show you like 2 repetitions before they go on to the next thing. And if you were trying to work out with them, you really wouldn't get any kind of a workout. So we'll keep on trucking so that if you were doing this with me, and hopefully you are, you'll feel like you're getting a workout. So we do this at the end of my barre class. We do a warm-up, we do some arm work, we do some barre, leg, booty, hips stuff, and then we do our ab work, and we do some stretching with the band. I was certified through Booty Barre. That's by Tracy Mallet, if you want to look that up, and I'll try to put a link to her and Booty Barre on the end of this video. And that's our last one. We're gonna add a leg here. So when we come up, we lift up one leg, and then as we lower, the leg lowers. When we come up, the leg lifts, and then when we lower, the leg lowers. So that's our new rhythm here. So see how my arms are not bending? I'm using those abdominals. My shoulders, I'm trying to keep those loose. I wanna make sure I have a neck. So I'm not all jammed up tight right here. Good. So last one, whoops, there's a leg. I did that wrong. And we'll come on up. So we're gonna give ourselves a break from that into rolling like a ball. So we're gonna scooch forward just a little bit. Our feet didn't go any more forward, just our booty did. And we're gonna combine rolling like a ball with the 100. So again, you can wrap around, especially since we're we're rocking back and coming up. A lot of people, sometimes their hands slip, okay? So wrap it around if you'd like, you don't have to. So we're gonna float the toes off the ground, scoop the belly, look down into the belly. So we're not looking up, we really wanna drop that head and round the spine. Think of a turtle, we want a nice rounded back. So we rock back, feet go between the band, we come up, and then we pulse, pulse, pulse. We rock back and up, pulse, pulse, pulse. Back and up, pulse, pulse, pulse. So I'm not rolling onto my neck, I'm right between the shoulder blades. Almost think maybe where you'd have a bra strap. And if a gentleman is watching the video, sorry about that, you will find that you get closer and closer to your wall. Rock back and up and pulse. And if you watch my legs, they don't get into any kind of a different shape. So I'm not like throwing my legs up and bringing them back down. I'll do one more where they stay pretty steady. And then pulse, pulse, pulse. And you'll find you get closer and closer and closer and closer to your wall. When your tippy toes start to touch, it's time to back up. Okay. So keep your band separated again. You can wrap it around or not, it's up to you. But the next thing we're gonna do, we go back to our movement pattern with the original, where we're gonna roll back and up. But for this, our feet are together, our knees are open. And if you can see right here, my fingers can fit right underneath my feet, okay? There's a little lift there. It's not a flat foot down. Can you see the difference there? So we're trying to keep our heels lifted. You might find if your hips are a little tighter, they might be a little more closed. We don't want them all the way, we don't want to completely give up. So we want a little bit of action going on with our legs here. Abdominals are pulled in. We scoop ourselves out. We roll back, not all the way, and we come up. So we don't let those heels touch the ground. Again, elbows stay nice and long. It's not a tense arm. We're using those abdominals. So we don't want anything else to tense up. Not our jaw, our face, not our forehead. Try to keep that face nice and loose. And put the energy right where we're working the most. We've got two more, and then we're going to add our legs, just like we did in the other one. And up. So this time we roll back just like we did, and as we come up we lift one leg in the air. It stays in that open position. We roll back and we lift the other leg in that open position, and we just switch off as we go. Hopefully at this point you're starting to get a little warm, hopefully. But there's no tension. The hands are holding on, but it's not an uncomfortable grip. Those abs should be working though. You should feel that, definitely. And last one. Nice job. So we'll bring ourselves up and we'll bring our knees together, feet together like we did before. We're going to add a rotation here. So when we roll down, we're going to touch our elbow to the edge of the mat. We come back up. And we just bring that other elbow back and we touch. So again, we don't lay down. The arms do get to work here now. And switch, and switch. Good. And switch, and keep an eye on your doorknob. If it feels like your knot is starting to unravel, please, by all means, tighten that sucker up. Wrap it around a couple of times. Do whatever you have to do to be safe, okay? And back, and center, and back. Getting into those obliques here. Now, if you ever feel like your back hurts when you do any of these exercises, make sure your abdominals are pulled in. That's what's keeping your back protected. If your abs aren't pulled in, it will go right to your back. So make sure you can do that. So then we turn it into a flow through. So we kind of flow and flow. It's still slow, and flow and flow and flow and flow and flow. And then you can speed it up. Twist, 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 and release. We'll lay down. All right, let's go ahead and send those legs out nice and long. And we can actually scooch so that our feet will touch the wall. So long arms again, abdominals pulled in, chin to chest. We're going to inhale, peel yourself up, press your feet into the wall. Use your abdominals. Your knees are going to start to bend as you sit up. So you lean forward, you'll scoop your belly, you're going to push into the wall, and you're going to roll back. So those arms don't do any work. You just scoop and you roll down one vertebra at a time until finally your head touches the ground. And again, inhale and lift and release. I hope you enjoyed that. And there's my dog barking.